For everybody, 2020 has been a very challenging year, and that's no different here at Boys and Girls Clubs. You know, it's challenged us as an organization to think about things differently, but more importantly, it's challenged the kids and the families that we serve. And so meeting those challenges, we've had to be very innovative and we've had to be very resilient. You know, first and foremost, back in March when everything shut down, we realized immediately that there were kids and there were families that could not be home. They didn't have the option to stay home. They had to be in their prospective jobs and their kids had to have, you know, reliable childcare. So we got to work right away and we set up emergency childcare sites so that young people had a place to go, so that their parents and those essential workers could get to work. That required a number of things. Our clubs had to look different. Our ratios changed, the way that we clean changed, our PPE, we now wear masks. It looks different, it feels a bit different, but the essence is still based in connections and it's still based in making sure that young people have the support that they need to build a great future.
It was really stressful, I think, for all of us, just trying to figure out how do we manage the fear during this time, how do we even wake up every day and navigate what we're supposed to do. And so with the school trying to figure out what they're doing, me in anticipation trying to figure out, okay, what homework do they need to be working on? I have work duties I need to do. Then finally, the school kind of got on board and was sending email after email about what's next, here, this is what you do, and that just set Isabel and Marcus in a tailspin. First, Marcus had a meltdown because he really wants to do well. They all do, but it's part of his genetic makeup. He really wants to do well, and he was so terrified that he was going to fail, and so we had to really navigate that. And then Isabella, I feel like she just went into this deep depression of she couldn't see her friends. She couldn't handle the workload. She didn't even know what assignment was due, when it was due. Basically, we just had to put a pause on everything for all of us and say, okay, we're just gonna be engaged. We're just gonna get through this time. But then when we found out that she could start coming back to the Boys and Girls Club, I called, I said, I wasn't aware that you guys were opening back up, but how can we get her on? And the staff just made it happen. And that was incredible to me. So she started coming during the summer, and her smile came back. I mean, it was this huge, like, there's my little girl. There she is. The peace that came over my heart, knowing that she was safe and that she was happy and that she was engaging in this safe way with all the COVID restrictions, it was a huge piece for me.
So the summer of 2020, again, realized that was going to be a critical time for young people to have a safe place to go. So we worked very closely with Larimer County Health Department, with all school districts, Poudre School District, Thompson School District, Estes Park School District, to devise a plan in which we would mobilize not only school buildings, but community spaces to serve kids. In particular, in both Thompson and Estes Park, we are now a permanent partner in their schools providing before and after school care, which is new to us this year, and we are so thrilled and honored to be a part of those great school districts.
Boys and Girls Club is really that, pivotal piece within the system to help support students, whether it be before school, after school, all those pieces helps the students grow. So having a partner that we can rely on to be flexible with us, to figure out how we can do it, and how we can support students. It's really been, how do we do that, but how do we provide that additional service? So how do we look at expanding service to capture more students? And what does that look like for Boys and Girls Club and our students, and then integrating those two partners together? Not only did we have a pandemic, but we also had one of the largest fires in Colorado's history run through. So on top of managing the pandemic with Boys and Girls Club, all of a sudden it was within a weekend, let's get a site set up to help those families. So literally between a Friday and Sunday, open up Monday morning, we've got a site set up and ready for kids to go to, a place where they feel safe, they have meals, and for those evacuated families, that was huge. I mean, they don't have a place, so they needed that comfort and that security of a place to go. So we're fortunate to have the partnership because that's allowed us to care for the students that we have.
I think we've shown resiliency throughout 2020. It's a true dedication to young people. It's a true dedication to our families and our communities. And that means redesigning protocols, redesigning the way that we operate, redesigning the structure for kids, but never taking our eye off of supporting young people.
It's due to all this community, the generous donors of Boys and Girls Club that made it possible for my kids to come, because without that funding, they wouldn't have been able to come. And now they're thriving.
When you see someone that's getting fed for their first time in the day that they may not have been, or they don't have a place to go, that's where the fundraising and the donations really help.
I think what I'm most proud about is of our team, and that's the board, that is our staff, that is our volunteers. The unwavering commitment to kids has been just inspiring through the entire time. We use the mantra, whatever it takes, and we stand by that mantra. And we did whatever it took, and we will continue to do whatever it takes for young people.
When this challenge came, it wasn't a matter of, we can't do that, we can only have so many students. It was we're gonna open more centers. We're gonna serve Loveland, Fort Collins, Wellington. We're gonna serve these areas. We're gonna make it possible for not only my students, but all these other students to come to our programs.
We still have amazing programs, and we still have amazing and caring adult mentors supporting kids. The things that we've increased our awareness on and increased our implementation on is social and emotional learning and mental health support and equity, making sure that all kids have the same experiences and the same high quality experiences every time they're at Boys and Girls Clubs.